What's up, everyone, and welcome to the West Coast Podcast. I'm Shane Got You 11, and with me, as always, is Trey.
Yes, it has been a while. Since the last podcast, I had brain surgery. I went to Cuba a few times, and now we're back. But now we appreciate you guys for. Can you even have surgery on your brain? Is that even real, or did I just say
No,
something?
you could have brain surgery, bro.
Okay, cool. But but no, we appreciate you guys for checking out the podcast, and for the people that tune in when we go live, we appreciate it. So, Shane, how have you been during this entire hiatus?
Shoot, bro. Just battling, bro. Just battling on tournaments and grinding on a broken controller. Don't get me started on that broken controller, bro.
Yeah, so he broke a controller. So what? So when you buy a new controller, do you usually get it at GameStop most of the time, or like what do you do?
Oh yeah, bro. It's always GameStop.
Because I was gonna say you can get a cheap controller on Amazon. They sell some that are not as overpriced. They're like 30 bucks.
Yeah, but for me, honestly, bro, I'm just gonna go in and buy one, and then I have it lickety split. Like, it is not fun where I cannot switch up and they scroll through my plays, and like the time that I told you where I was gonna lurk the guy, and my controller made my guy run all the way back to the defensive line. That was fun, bro. That was fun. Like, it made me happy inside.
I think that your controller got possessed. I think that's why you've been having problems with it. I legit think that it got possessed. It might have got okay. Never mind. I was gonna say something bad, but anyway, moving past that. So besides that, how's the family going? Do you have any plans for this year's Halloween at all?
Bro, they're doing good now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a plan. Like, we got a Halloween dinner, not Halloween party, but Halloween dinner at my mom's tonight in a few hours, which will be cool. And then tomorrow we're gonna watch the hapless Seahawks play the hapless Jaguars, and then we're gonna take the youngest one trick or treating, even though it's gonna be ice cold out. And
Yeah.
that's it, man.
Yeah, it was pretty cold yesterday. I mean, it was actually like the last week here where I'm at. It was pretty warm, but like today it was cold, so I'm not looking forward to it. It's like funny when you're like, okay, it's not that bad. It's pretty warm, but then once you experience like the real cold outside, you're like, yeah, we're good. I'm like, we could we can just fast forward this till March or April. That would be nice.
Well, it's crazy how your brain works. Like, so when you're in wintertime, right, and you're cold, yada yada. Well, then spring hits and it's like 40 degrees out, and it feels so warm to you. You know what I mean? And then so on. Then in the summer, 60 degrees feels cold in the summer, but back in the spring it was really warm. It's just your body gets used to it. And the thing is, for me, it's crazy how I don't know. It's just crazy how your brain adapts.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's crazy how people survive. You okay?
That was a baby. Sorry.
It sound, dude, that legit sounded like a ghost or something. Because I was thinking that it was like a ghost or something. I was like, what the heck was that?
You're like, well, I'm out of here. Well, we'll see you guys later.
That's funny, man. So yeah, definitely, and I mean that's probably the biggest thing why it doesn't affect why people, I don't mean to make fun of people who get sick because I understand that that's not worth battling. shout out to anyone out here that's going through addiction and all that. But I mean, I feel like people who want to voluntarily take drugs to mess up their brain, like, and knowing like what your brain is capable of and the things that it can do, like, I just don't understand that personally.
It's that constant chase of feeling high and the euphoric feelings, and that's where like my brain struggles because like I try to figure out like why this person did this, right, or why this person did that, and you really can't because we're not the same brain. We're not the same brain chemicals and all that.
Yeah, it's
And
like, oh, go ahead.
oh no, I was just saying like, so it's different. Like, I mean, I don't have the same brain chemicals as somebody else. So like somebody who, you know, goes and snorts cocaine every weekend, they may think it's super fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But for me, like, why I don't want to do that. And then some people might be like, oh, well, Shane's a little rigid. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like that. And we're all different. And the problem is if you try to figure out everyone, you're never going to be able to. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, the whole brain thing is just like when you really tap into like what your brain can do. I mean, you can think of like your mom's voice, for example. Like you can think of it and it's like you hear it. Like even though your mom's not talking to you, you can like clearly like remember like her voice, and it's like how does it even like remember that stuff?
Well, and exactly, and you know what is even crazy too, bro. Is like you can retrain your brain. So, um, let's say that you went on a hiking expedition, right, and you fell down the hill. You didn't die, but you got hurt, right?
Yeah,
Well, then every time you go by a hill with an edge, your brain gets triggered, and you have images of yourself falling off the edge, right?
yeah,
Well, if you avoid it and don't do it again, it just builds the strength in your brain that yep, you better fear hills with edges because you might fall off and really hurt yourself. Well, if you keep doing it, like if you keep walking by the hillside, you know what I mean, and like whatever about the edge, you'll still get the images of falling off and like anxiety. But you keep doing it, eventually you reteach your brain like a new memory. Does that make sense?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
the memory, well, the problem is like you train your brain, something happens to your brain, so you you get scared or you get afraid of it, and then what happens is you have to just start retraining your brain no matter how crappy it feels to do. Like if you're scared of getting in a car because you got in a bad car wreck, and you get in the car, but you see yourself crashing or dying in a car wreck, most people are going to do what? Jump out of the car, right? Not want to be in there, and and all that stuff. But you have to force yourself to do it. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you gotta force to do it. I mean, I don't know if I should say this, but I mean, you hear of some people that have someone. I'm not gonna say exactly, but you should know what I'm talking about. But they have like unfortunate like things happen to them as a child, so now they have hygiene problems because they can't really take a shower because I mean, there's some people that just don't take a shower because they're lazy, but some people that have hygiene problems, like I've read that that's part of the reason that they can't do it.
Well, yeah, and it's also, bro. Here, I'll give you an example. I'll run an example off that since we're talking about like people's brains. Um, so something bad happens to you, like we are talking about, right? Like what you're just talking about. Well, so you avoid the area that was part of the infliction. Well, if you decide to shower, let's say, but the whole time you're telling your brain, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, what it's doing is it's reinforcing the brain that the thoughts are still scary. The images are still scary because you're reassuring yourself. Does that make sense? What you're supposed to do, as weird as it sounds, is get into the shower, right?
Yeah,
and shower. No matter all the bad feelings that are happening, no matter all the images, all the urges that feel like something bad is really going to happen, and you don't reassure yourself. And then you get done, and you come out, and you have bad anxiety for that day for a little bit, and then you keep doing it every day. And what happens is, as long as you don't reassure yourself, you're retraining your brain that these thoughts, these fears aren't as big as a deal as it should. Like, I read a person who had OCD that was afraid of the grass, right? Well, to me, and to maybe you or to somebody else, like, you're scared of walking on the grass, but they were deathly afraid of it. So they had to get trained by touching the grass, sitting on the grass, and so on, because you have to retrain your brain. And the only thing that makes it tough is they said the only thing that it takes time. So let's say that you're afraid of taking a shower due to what happened to you when you're a child, right? And it takes you like 15 years to start trying to break the habit. It's going to take a long time to retrain your brain. And then you have it's kind of like, they call it a roller coaster, where, like, you know, you take 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So not every week is going to be perfect when you're trying to retrain your brain. And that is dealing with drugs, like trying to rehab from drugs, rehab from other stuff, trying to get over, I'll say it, sexual assault, OCD, anxiety issues, phobias. It's real crazy how complex and smart your brain really is. You know what I mean? Rose, we're talking about brain chemicals. And what's up, by the way?
This is what the podcast has turned into. Is talking. This is you expected the West Coast. This is really the psychology podcast now. We switched it up on you.
But bro, that's why we just have it as a West Coast podcast instead of just one thing.
We can talk about anything.
Right, exactly, Trey. And Rose, you're exactly right on that comment. It's all about what your fears are and what you can get over. And, like, some people can't. So it is hell to get through certain things where you're afraid of or you don't want to do, because your brain is smart. So they'll show you bad images. Like I said, you're afraid of a car because you got in a bad car wreck. Your brain, when you go to the car, your brain will flash images of you in a horrible car wreck, and you'll be scared to death to get in the car. Well, what you do is you just get in the car and you go for a 1 block ride, and then the next time 2 blocks, and so on. But you don't reassure yourself. So when those images happen, you're supposed to not be like, I'm going to be okay while you're driving. That's not helping you. That's reassuring. You're supposed to just get in the car, drive, you can turn music on, sing to the music, let those images and thoughts happen. And even if you can only go a block the first time, that's a start. You know what I mean, Trey? And then the next day it's 2 blocks and whatever. Or the next week it's 2 blocks. So anyways, we're just talking about brain chemicals right now. I don't know what started it, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be high IQ right now or anything. I'll go back to my dumb self.
It is. I mean, the way that you explain that whole situation, like it makes like total sense to me, because like you said, like if you fear something and you go into it and you try to tell yourself like not to worry about it, basically, then that's not going to work. Whereas if you just do it and like try to convince your brain that it's normal, then the sooner that you can get back on track. So yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
oh, bro, definitely. Because if you're telling yourself, like, I'm going to be okay getting this car, I'm going to be okay getting this car, all you're doing is reassuring yourself and giving the thought more meaning than it really does. Like, we have millions of thoughts a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he's in the video, Rose, or in the stream.
Yeah, I did hear something interesting too. I forgot what drug it was, but they were saying how your brain has like a defense mechanism to where sometimes you see a garden hose, but you think that it's a snake at first, but your brain has like a chemical or defense mechanism to where you know you, you would rather assume that something is a snake rather than a garden hose, so that way you know what I'm trying to say.
No, 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 no. So yes, no, you're absolutely right. It's so your brain, your anxiety part of the brain. I can't say the word. I struggle to say the word. It's like the amygdala, whatever. It starts with an A, M, Y, G, and on. That's still prehistoric, is what psychologists are saying. That part of your brain, the anxiety part of your brain, has never really truly evolved like the rest of our brain has. So the reason why, when you see a garden hose and for a second your brain thinks it's like a viper snake, right? Or a bad snake, or you know what I mean? Or you see a shadow and you think it's a dog or whatever and it's nothing, is because they say back in the day, you know, we're scared of, well, our brain was trying to save us from like a saber-toothed tiger, right? So it constantly had us on edge to protect ourselves. Because you know what I mean? Like back in the day, if you're in the wild and you're like, oh, hey, there's a tiger. Oh, well, and keep walking and the tiger eats you. You're not going to go anywhere, you know what I mean? We're not going to live that long. So that anxiety part of the brain throws the worst stuff at you to protect you, even though even though it's weird, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Like I was trying to explain it in a way, and it's like you ever try to explain something, but then when you're explaining it, you're like, like what the heck? Because I was trying to say like, it's better to think that you see a guarded, or it's better to think that you see a guarded snake, but it's really a hose than it that it's a hose. Fuck it.
Well, I know, bro. I know exactly what you mean. I was given more like the scientific term, so I might have ruined it for you. But yes, it technically is like if you're driving 110 miles an hour down the freeway, right, and there's no part of your brain that like says flashes like car wreck, or you're gonna keep driving 110, and then eventually you might smash into somebody and die. You know what I mean? Your brain gives off these images and warnings that sometimes aren't fun, obviously. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're scary, or you're like, wow, like, why did I have that thought? But it's still because that part of your brain still, they said, it has not evolved. It still thinks that, like, we're out in the wild, bro.
Yeah, and yet they're saying that there's some drugs that like strip your brain's ability to even have that function. So I don't even know what that looks like.
Well, people that are suffering with like bad anxiety or panic disorder or OCD, there's I believe it's a new shock, brain shock, TMS, and they're saying that it's starting to work on people, and it shocks your brain to override the fear, anxiety, and retrain your brain through shock pulses. I don't know, bro. I'm not smart enough to do it, so. Something like that. But anyways, yes. So yes, brain chemicals. Also, I believe, is this our second year or third year of doing the podcast? Third?
I want to say, because I want to say we may I remember because I remember Madden 19 is when I think Madden 19 is when we had the idea for it, and we were gonna give away 1,000,000 points. I remember that being part of the thing. We made the video about the podcast and saying that we were gonna give away 1,000,000 points. But I don't know if you remember this, but we tried to do. It was like this only happened for like a few weeks, but we tried to do like the Monday Night Football, like
Yeah, didn't no one do it, or
no
well,
one did it. So that was
yeah, that's I mean, it'd probably work if we got popular podcasts. Like that probably would work.
yeah, that's true.
But we just have to do podcasts like twice a month. I know like your schedule is hectic, and then My schedule is a little bit different now. I mean, we just got to make it work. Like, even if it makes us have to do it like I said today, you know what I mean? At 1 o'clock, then that's what we have to do. Like twice a month is good. And then yeah, sure, if it got super popular and everybody wanted once a week, then once a week, yada yada.
Yeah. Move into a big old studio, get our Joe Rogan on, get all the fancy mics and studios way before then.
Yeah.
We'd be balling it up.
Oh, bro, I'll be rich. Just say outlandish stuff like people do.
Yeah. Yeah. Joe Rogan is a smart guy though. Like I
He,
sometimes watch him like how he surrounds himself with like so many people and how he like knows like a wide variety of different topics. Like that's interesting.
it's always good to learn about everything as much as possible. You know what I mean? Because then you learn and you can have a conversation about it and you teach yourself. They say that the biggest thing when you get older is to do a crossword puzzle. And the reason why they say that is because it's still making your brain work out. And they
Yeah.
say and they say as you age, we get in the same old like grind, like go to work, like most people go to work 8 to 5, right? Come home, eat dinner, watch TV, go to bed. What brain exercises are you doing unless like, you're a biochemist or a psychologist or a doctor? Like most of us aren't that. You know what I mean? Most of us are just the normal worker, and that's why they say crossword puzzles or like learning new stuff. It triggers your brain. It makes your brain work, and it releases endorphins, so it makes your brain not age as quick, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And that's another thing because you always hear, people, and I think that it's funny because you know how video games evolved. Before people, it wasn't really accepted, but now people are accepting it. But video games in a way they do teach. You know what you're talking about because the same in video games, like not just Madden, but in any video game, you still have to figure out how to get to the next level. So that helps your mind out.
Oh no, that's why. Did you? There's an article actually in Psychology Today. I don't remember if it was like last year or this year at the start of the year. They're talking about people that have bad anxiety, right? Um, Playing games that are complex and trying to figure things out, it actually helps you more than anyone ever thought before because instead of focusing on your anxiety, you are you're teaching yourself new things so you don't focus on the anxiety, and so it's calming your anxious part of your brain down while playing video games. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know if I said it right, but you know what I mean.
yeah, and it makes sense. I mean, even to this day, I still get joy, even though it's not as much, but I still get joy. I mean, the fact that I can go online right now and play Madden with a player across the country, or even another country. I mean, that fact alone, even though it's people grow up and they're already born into it, but I mean to think how far we come from then till now. I mean that's still kind of cool to me that you can do that. So
Oh yeah, bro. It sucks because I think to myself like, man, I wish I was like 10 years younger, 15 years younger sometimes, where like I could just get up and play Madden 24/7. Cause bro, back in the day, I was so good at like every video game, every sports video game you could think of. And that's because that's all I did besides playing. Like I would still go out and play sports and all that stuff, but like when it was dark out and people went home, I'd play like an hour and a half a night, and I'd be so good at it. And I like the neighborhood kids, I'd play and beat them. And I was 16, 17, 18 when it came out, or when I was serious. But I think about all the stuff like the kids nowadays have. Like that's why the 16, 17, 18 year olds are going to start taking over Madden completely because they don't have a life really outside of video games and friends. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, and one of the good things that I like about Madden is I feel like it's a game. games like Fortnite or games that require you to kind of have, quick thumbs. I know your thumbs are kind of getting old these days, but I mean, I think that, Madden is probably one of the few games that you can be like in your 40s and still be able to compete because a lot of stuff, a lot of Madden is mental. It's not really, like how fast you.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think your mic cut out at the end.
Yeah, yeah, it did cut off.
Okay, but yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, so funny story since you said old thumbs, right? So I'm not gonna put the guy on his name out there, but he was right. Mean, he said, "How old are you?" And I told him, and he's like, "Oh man, I thought you were in your mid 20s." Like, wow, you're competing at this high level, and you can make plays and switch up like you do. Wow, for an old person, that's amazing. And part of me wanted to be like, thanks, man. And part of me wanted to kick him in his nuts. Like, damn, bro. But yes,
Well, yeah, maybe they'll make a pill for that one of these days, like to get your stick skill back. So maybe because I ain't had sticks since freaking Madden '09. So we'll see.
yo, bro, yo, dude. I still got stick skill, bro. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Now, might not be as sharp probably like when I was like 2021, but yes, Rose. Most of us are asking if you want fries with that. You're right. Most of most of us are saying that for sure. But like, yes, that's what the point is. Is like the few that can make money off of Madden at like my age or like late 20s are far and few in between. That's why at my generation, you know what, Trey? You know what I really think though.
What?
So the 16 to 20-year olds right now, right?
Yeah.
The good ones, the very good players, their job. There's gonna be more people being a Madden gamer in their 30s and 40s in 20 years than ever before. And because think about it, like here, I'll use a guy. Let's say Goose, right? I'll throw Goose out there.
Yeah.
He's I think 18. He wins a title, right? He's already getting popular anyways. He ends up having like 10,000 Twitch followers, subscribers, yada yada. You're already making bank, right? So why would you go get a job? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that to me never made like people and but I don't think there'll be people hating on you either. You know what I mean? Like I don't think in 20 years people will hate on you if you're a gamer. I don't.
Yeah, and I mean, I kind of have mixed feelings about it. You know, I mean, and I do think that gaming is a job. I think, but at the same time, it's gonna be kind of hard because the streamers that I watch and the people that I watch. I mean, yeah, they're good at the game. That's one thing, but I feel like the people that are successful, they have a certain level of charisma. You know what I mean? Like they have the ability to keep you entertained. Like it's not really different from someone that's a musician or an athlete or athlete. That doesn't make sense, but you know what I'm saying. Someone that just has the ability to entertain you for a certain amount of time. You know.
Definitely, yes, definitely. I definitely agree. You either have to be really, really, really good, right?
Yeah,
Or charismatic.
yeah, but here's the problem though, is because I think video games make people antisocial these days. Because like back when you were growing up, people weren't spending time playing video games. They were out, playing sports or playing with their friends and stuff like that. So now a lot of people are spending times in party chats just talking, and it kind of makes them antisocial, and that's why people say, oh, these guys are kind of weird. They don't have any personality, and first of all, I think that personality that doesn't really come into effect until you're older. but number two, I think it's a product of how they kind of grew up and how they didn't really go outside and experience life
it,
so
it
much.
it's also how they talk and get away with things too, bro. Like, so I've said this before, and yep, all old head is talking right now. Here we go. Back in my day, Shane walked 5 miles. Shut up. Anyways, what I'm saying is like, so 5, 10 years, like when I was 15, 16, I couldn't I couldn't say stuff in person to an adult like nowadays, because like nowadays, like they're online, there's no repercussions. Like they'll be like, shut up old man, you blah blah blah, whatever bad name you want to say, all blah blah blah, you, and nothing happens to them, right? So there's like this what's
I
that?
was I was gonna say the one thing that could happen to them is that they could get canceled. So, I mean, I mean,
Yeah, I mean like where you get punched in your face for running your mouth to an older person.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's
Like back in the day, like bro, like when I was 15, 16, 17, I saw people get slapped or punched in the face for talking to an older person with disrespect. And
yeah,
and nowadays, like what are they gonna? You know what I mean? I think that's why it's a little awkward. Like, and that's why like some part, like they're online and they're like saying that to people, and then what's their first excuse, Trey? When if you say something to them, I'm just a kid. Why are you saying that back to me?
yeah,
Yes, I do agree with you. It's a little odd. It's a little bit weird. Like some people take it too much. Like I heard John Beast, all he does is play like 15 hours a day and doesn't go outside. That's all what people have told me. Well, he won a belt and he's kind of popular now. So will he take more time off? You know what I mean? Or like, will he still be the same? Is it his personality? Like, I mean, I still think you could be really good, Trey, at this game if you played it 3, 4 hours a day and streamed, let's say, and then 3, 4 hours you went outside and hung out with people, hung out with friends and stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I mean the whole MCS. I mean there's a lot of ways you can make money in Madden. Whether it be through ebooks, making YouTube videos or streaming. And I would like to know your opinion on this, but I feel like, doing it the MCS route, I feel like that's kind of the easiest route as far as work that goes into it. Yeah, you still have to work, but it's if you don't have to worry about viewers or how to structure your YouTube video or how to get more people to watch your video. You only have to focus on one thing really. So
Yeah, I think the problem with Madden is, and I'm going off a little off topic in a way, but like my problem with Madden is they have not really like expanded the audience, if that makes sense. Like other games have like way more viewers, way more players, way more payouts. Like if you're 14 or 13, right, Trey, and you have Fortnite or Madden and you're great at both of them, don't get me wrong, you're great at both of them, but one pays you 10 times the amount that the other one does, and you have 100 times the viewership than the other one does, which one are you going to go to? You're going to go to Fortnite.
yeah,
I mean, bigger pay, bigger viewers, and all that stuff. Like Madden has to figure out, bro. And I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. I don't know what they can do to make it a super super popular game. I don't know
well,
if
I was gonna say you do know that it has a ceiling. It has a ceiling for it, right? Because games like Fortnite, those are games that are played like worldwide, and like football, that's only played in like Canada and North America. I mean, there's people that play it in different countries, but I mean, for the most part, you're talking specific regions of the world.
sure, but I mean in general, it's still a top 10. It's still like I looked at the statistic. It's still top 10 most popular sport. Yeah, number one I think was soccer, and number two was like cricket. So like, yeah, I mean, yes, as a long range, yes, there is a ceiling, but bro, you don't think that they can make more than 10,000 people play Madden?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with your point. Like, because I don't think we've come close to touching the ceiling as far as.
And the problem is it's decreased actually. The amount of people that played that tried to make the tournament, it actually went down this year compared to last year, and I don't know why. So it's like you can pick and choose. Like,
Well,
is it
I
what's
was gonna,
that?
s- I was gonna say you played it through all those tournaments and been through all the BS, and you don't know why people don't compete in it.
I well my number one thing why honestly is because it's pay to play in a way.
Well, yeah, that's it. Like,
Like I mean, bro, I spent a good enough amount of money this year, and my team's not even the best anymore. And then
yeah,
when I went and played the pros, like Goose had every top player you could ask for. Jaren had every top player you could ask for.
and
Like,
then here's Shane with an ass.
yeah, well, like yes, my team's good overall. Don't get me wrong. Like, but when you play against people that can spend as much money as they want, or they get paid to use them. Like, I don't have the '94 Troy Polamalu. Yeah, it just dropped, but you know what I mean. It's hard. Like, so as a 16, 17-year old, how, and if you don't have a job and you want to be good at it, how are you going to really compete unless you play 24/7 or you ask mom and dad for like your famous line, can I have the credit card? I need your credit card. You know what I mean? So that's hard.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you hear about that all the time. I mean, yeah, because when I was growing up, because I would play games online and stuff, but back in the day when I played online, they didn't have all these, microtransactions where you can buy, stuff in games. But now that's a big problem with kids. I actually read an article that, more kids are getting in trouble because the parents have their payment information already loaded up, so the kid will, keep spending money and keep charging their credit card. So
Well, and the thing is it is really hard, and it also creates gambling habits.
yeah, just so we're clear, it is gambling. Like,
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. They do it in a slick way.
they want to say, and this is EA's, like I want to find the video where they say it, but there's a video. They're like, "Oh, we don't call it gambling. We call it surprise mechanics or something." So
Yeah, but they know what they're doing. They're slick. Like, don't get it twisted. But I think that's the number one problem is I actually think that if you went back to regs, there would be almost more people. I know a lot of players are MUT players now and they don't want it to change, but I think there'd be an overall more um, popular audience if they did more regs, in my opinion. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
yeah, yeah, and I mean, I don't know if Rose is still in the chat, but I was watching, Debbie did a podcast with Gut Fox the other day, and I was watching it. And, Gut Fox asked a pretty interesting question. He was like, what is competitive Madden done for Mud? Because Mud kind of had its own thing going on for a while. Because competitive Madden for a long time was like only in Rex, but then it kind of took over Mud. So took it.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely true. Like Rose, yeah. So you're the codes and stuff. Yeah, I did get offered. I've gotten offered about 3 or 4 times for people that said they would pay me a certain amount of money to put their coin site on my YouTube. I just never did because I don't know what I'd want to do with that. For one, for two, I don't want to not compete in Madden, but so I mean that's how cool about the Fortnite route. I mean, competitive Madden and MUT is, I don't know. I really don't understand it because and another thing, Trey, it's in you do the tournaments in all Madden, but Weekend League is all pro. They need to open it up. They really do. They need to make it where like you can do all pro Weekend League or all Madden Weekend League. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably not gonna happen though. But
Yeah, well, they should if they want people to get adjust to it because that's what some pros were annoyed about. They said, why aren't we having Weekend League on All Madden or an option for All Madden Weekend League since that's all we're playing the tournaments on? And it's true. The gameplay plays a little bit different. It's a little bit faster.
wait. But how is are you talking about like this year? Because I mean I can understand like when they're still doing ladders and stuff, but how is Weekend League related to like this tournament? Because they don't have like ladders and stuff. You have to
Because they're talking about like just the gameplay and like it's competitive and a lot of pros play on the Weekend League and you try to do it to get coins and cards and it's not the same gameplay. So you play one week in a Weekend League and then you try to do the grind on Battlefy and it's all Madden. It's different.
yeah. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that play Weekend League that don't play the tournament. So is it also fair for them to have to adjust like their experience? But yeah, I agree with you too. There should be two, but then that means they have to make a whole separate reward system like that. So
Well, they did that at the end of last year. Don't you remember? They did all Madden Weekend League and all Pro Weekend League.
I think they gave weren't the rewards the same or something like
I don't remember. I just remember that like I was like, oh okay, this is kind of dope. But I mean, it was at the end of the year. It was like, was it spring or summer? I can't remember.
yeah, it didn't really mean much either way.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I guess that's what some excuse me. That's what some of the pros are saying is that they should make it both. You know what I mean? Like for the casual players, do all pro weekend league, and then there should be the other option like they did last year, where you can pick all pro or all Madden weekend league and play it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I do think that Weekend League is like I love playing Weekend League. Like I haven't had time to play it recently, but I have a lot of good memories like playing it and stuff because it's something that you can look forward to like every week, like seeing how many wins you can get on a certain weekend and stuff, like and how far you can get like that. So that's always been fun.
It was, it is kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm a little bit busier on the weekend than during the week, which makes it harder for me to get packs and all that stuff. But like, it definitely is fun. The only thing, like, I know you like it, bro, but again, I'm probably old and I like simulation. Like, trying to guard a 6'9" Randy Moss running 98 speed or 99 speed is dumb for me. They shouldn't have that on Weekend League.
Okay,
Like,
okay. Well, I understand that's not, but that's not you being like simulation. That's just you being an old man that doesn't like to have fun.
bro,
Because
how the hell is it fun, dog? How's it? I mean, I guess, like, my son was like, it's for fun. But
yeah,
it's,
because it's Halloween and you got 7 foot and 2 foot people playing football. It's fun. It's fun. Like
I mean, I see you and my son's point. I mean, that's fine. I'm just a bitter old man. Stay off my lawn. Um, Rose, here, Rose, here is what I'm going to say. Twitch and YouTube kind of ruined Madden in a way, and like that sounds weird as me even being a YouTube guy and putting out stuff. Is you watch YouTubers or Twitch players, and then you learn all the meta, and then a lot of people run the meta, bro. I mean, Rose, even the casual, like I know you're like the casual fan, yeah, like maybe the people that pick it up like once a weekend and don't do anything else, they might not know, but like the people, even the casual players, run the meta that I've never even heard of. Like they're nobody's. Like I think YouTube and Twitch cause a big issue with running meta 24/7, and it gets boring. Like I've said it before. Like I get bored at times, but you have to be better and you have to adapt and you have to learn to be good. And yes, there is way more Fortnite players, so the gap is different. I definitely agree. And I think one way they could make it, one way I think they could make Madden more skill based, in my opinion. And Trey, jump in on this. I've said it before. Is if they make the user matter almost as much as anything else. So, like, if I'm running and a guy comes in and clicks off, they should almost penalize that person. Don't get me wrong, because people are like, oh, so the computer's not supposed to play, the computer's not supposed to pick you off, the computer's not supposed to tackle you. No, no, no. I'm saying if I run and the computer tackles me because you didn't switch up or anything, that's cool. But like if you run in and try to click off because it gives you a speed burst or whatever, you should get punished. And that would teach you to learn to have a better user stick. What do you think, Trey?
Okay, so going back to the whole user control, I definitely agree. Like, and it's funny because I know that you're a sim guy, um, and there's certain simulation guys that are like this, but I don't think that you're someone that has these opinions. But there's people that say, oh well, I ran this play, and my computer should know that even though he's supposed to play this zone, he should still see that the receiver is running by him, and he should automatically go back and guard that, even though that's not what I wanted him to do replay. So and it's like stuff like that. Like if I play offline, I don't want the computer to do anything besides what I tell them to do. Like if I tell my computer to play this, I want you to play this. I don't want you to do anything else. Like just do what I want you to do, basically.
No, I agree. I agree on that part. I mean, but like, I really think there's two things holding Madden back, and I think it's one, MUT cards are expensive, and it's not really fair. You know what I mean? It's not. The second thing is I think they need to figure out how to make it more user skill based. Do you really think that? And I know I'm using the same example over and over, but it's the thing that bugs me the most. And I think I'm being even from a standpoint of I'm used to it now. Do you think clicking off is beneficial to Madden and beneficial to the examples of making Madden a better game? Like so, if, for example, like you're watching Fortnite and somebody clicks off so they get the shot, a perfect shot, because the computer can do a perfect shot. Would that be like exciting to you? Would that prove to you that you're the best player because you knew how to click off and you knew how to do this? Like for me, like Madden is like great. So you learned how to click off while running into the gap so the computer speed bursts and tackles you. That's not really user. User is where you try to tackle the person. You know what I mean? Maybe I just got it twisted, and I'm used to the old school way.
I just feel like when it's like one-on-one, it's like if you're running towards me and you're on offense and I'm on defense, it's almost virtually impossible for me to tackle you without switching off. Like, you can disagree and that's fine, but it's like if I play someone that's not really good and he's in the open field, and I'm sure you can validate this. Like if I'm in the open field and I'm playing someone that's not good, like it's so easy for me to just swerve him. Like it's not like, I mean, the whole click off of the gap thing, I agree, but if it's like in the open field, then I don't really see it.
Yeah, but isn't that But then that's not skill user. That's where I'll disagree with you. I use her just fine on defense. Yeah, sometimes I whiff. Yep. But a lot of times I make the hit stick or I make the tackle or I make the pick. To me, that is user skill.
Yeah.
Clicking off and relying on your computer. I mean, and don't get it twisted, bro. Like, I'm not talking about like you or like a person like Rose or anybody like that. Because you guys don't think you're the greatest of all time. We've had this conversation before.
Yeah.
I'm talking about at a high elite level. Wouldn't it be better to see a guy like Dreamy or Skimbo try to tackle you than clicking off? Wouldn't that be better for the game? Or do you think it doesn't matter? Maybe I'm in the minority here.
I mean, I mean that. Well, that's the thing. I think that for me, I mean, like your whole issue with my whole issue is more of like the chess match. Like just like I said, computer assistance. Like you should click off and click computer assistance. And that's the same thing with 5 point, which is something whenever that I have people say that the quarterback should go back and guard a receiver, even though that's not the same. We have similar problems, but I'm like me personally, I've always been more into like the chess part of that. Like I like to be able to see how you're playing, and I like to be able to know what adjustments to do to take you away, rather than try to blow you up with my user. I mean that's why I kind of like that.
No. Bro, I agree with you. I love the chess match.
Yeah.
I love that. That's one of my funnest parts. Is what's up, Lux?
Like for example, like when you see someone doing an RPO, right? And so you see someone doing an RPO, but then you put your slot corner in a flat zone and you fix it off. Like that's one of the most rewarding feelings that you can have because you did that yourself. Like you saw him going to that RPO, you made the adjustment, and then you got rewarded.
No. Yes, yes, I love it. Or like you know this route's coming because you've seen him run it earlier in the game on this third down or fourth down, and you remember, and you jump the route and pick it off. Nothing's better than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that I love that part of the game. I'm just saying, I think they need to figure out how to make the skill base different by having you need to use her more than clicking off. That's just my opinion. Like I said, I'm probably in the minority here. I mean, Lux probably thinks that it's fine. I mean, he's in the chat. Tell me what you think, Lux. Oh, Skibbo lost to the spamming? That's crazy, bro. That's hella crazy. Yeah, that's crazy as hell. I mean, this year's game is. I mean, I said it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of this year's game, and I've said it before. But I still play it, and I need to learn to adjust. I need to have the mindset of, oh well, I got to deal with it. You know what I mean? You can't make all these excuses. Like Madden 16, I wish that I did the MUT way. I wish I didn't listen to Skimbo and Scheming and them. I wish actually I would have tried out for Madden 16 MUT. That was my Madden. That was my Madden. Trust me on that when I say it. Yes, Lux, the game as a whole has bigger issues than clicking off. I'm just trying to figure out how to make the game a bigger popular standpoint for people. Like, what makes it more popular? Like, do you really want to see top pros clicking off to make the tackle? Or would you rather see a top pro make a stick work and blow up that guy? And, you know what I mean? Like, I would prefer that, and I might be wrong. I mean, I understand what you mean about running, Lux, but you're a pro passer. Like, you're a pro passer. You would rather have people pass 50 times a game than run the ball. Again, it's all about adjustments, and again, it's all about mindset and everything. Because I'm going to be honest, like, I'm totally bored watching people run bunch and run the same plays. There's 3 or 4 plays that people run every play or all game long. 3 or 4 plays out of bunch, and we know we're talking, and you know what I'm talking about. And everybody runs it. And to me, that's boring. And to you, it's boring watching somebody run for 3-4 yards. So I understand. Like, I mean, to me, I just have to be better. You know what I mean? Trey, what would you say? Like, don't you think you just have, in general, you just have to just be better? I mean, I don't like watching the same effing bunch play over and over and over and over. And I'm sure in Madden 20, I didn't like seeing the same stretch play being called over and over. But you got to adjust. Is that correct, or am I wrong here?
Yeah, you're correct. This is literally what I've said before, and I still stand by it. And I understand that, you know, people that because I understand that there's people who play Madden and they look at it as an actual product and they're not making money off of it. So, you know, they want to play the game and they want to have fun, you know, playing with their friends and stuff, which is understandable. You know, me, I want to be good. Like, I want to compete. I want to do good in every single, yes, week league in general. You know what I'm saying? But,
Yeah.
you know, with that being said, I feel like if you were competitive, I think that you should have the mindset that the game can literally go back to Tecmo Bowl. And I know it sounds crazy, but, you know, just hear me out. But you should almost have that mindset that it could go backwards to technical, and you would still find a way how to play it the best you can. Like, we have a lot of people that can play in Rex, okay, that's but they have a lot of people that say, oh, Clint can't make a good game, you know, this and that. And while that may be true, I mean, I just saying that it's excuses. I think that if you're a competitor, it doesn't matter what it is, right? Like, in sports, you can take the easy way out. You can say, oh, the referee made this one bad call and that's why I lost. Or you can say, you know, I could have had that in the first inning. You know, I could have made better.
Oh, fully. There's always plays that you can be better on. And yes, it would be easy to blame. You know what I mean? Like, blame the game, blame the ref. And yes, like, Lux is preaching right now, bro. I don't know if you're in the stream. Like, I fully agree. So he says the zones are horrible. They are. They're not that good. And he misses the chess match that Madden used to be. I fully agree. That's kind of like what we talked about. Like, I miss that stuff. But in the end, as bad as this sounds, I'm going to stand on my hill, even if I don't like the game. Like I said, this game is not one of my favorite Maddens. It's not, yeah. You just have to adjust and you have to deal with it. You just do.
Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, you're gonna get stuck in. I don't want to say his name, but you know, whatever. You know, Siwu, I love you. If by some chance you happen to come across this video, but you're literally gonna end up like him, where you know you spend like 5 years trying to get better at Madden, but you always say, oh, the guy I'm playing is a bot, or you know, this game takes no skill, or you know, fire Flint. Like, you're gonna get sucked into that, and you're never gonna get back. I mean, hopefully, if you do follow down that path, you don't have the mattress that's on the floor. You don't have McDonald's bags and pop cans flying all over your room. But you know what I'm saying.
Bro, I do. You know, they need to also make it like maybe if you spend like $300 or whatever, you get all the items that you need for the tournament.
Yeah. You know, I thought to this, so I forget. Like I remember vividly because sometimes I see something get brought up in a chat. I'm not going to claim that I came up with this idea. I actually saw it in a chat, but it came from craziest thing. It came from someone random. I have no idea what their name was. It was just someone typing in the chat, right? And at first, I didn't really think nothing of it, but then I randomly thought about it, and I was like, "Oh, that kind of makes sense." But what he said was, if you want to compete in MCS, um, it would be like a whole separate tab within Madden. Like the competitive section would have its own infrastructure to it, basically. So it would be completely detached from Ultimate Team, but you would pay a monthly fee. You would pay a monthly fee, whatever that is, $20 a month. I mean, if you want to complain about spending $20, I mean, I don't agree with what Dubby says. Like, oh, if you don't want to spend $500 a week, then it must not be worth it for you. That's not true. I don't agree with that. But if you don't want to, but if you don't want to spend at least $20 or $50 a month, then yeah, he's kind of right in that sense because I do believe that spending some money isn't a bad thing. So you spend a monthly fee and you get to play with all the competitive players. It's its own system, and you just get access to all the cards and everything.
Yes, I fully, bro, I fully agree. Hold on, man. I gotta listen to this video that Lex sent me. I'll update you right after the podcast. So go on, and then I'll give me 30 seconds.
Okay. Okay. Well, what can I talk about while Shane is watching a video? Shane, you put me on the spot here. I don't think I'm ready for this. Um, I'm not even in the chat or nothing, so I don't even know what's going on. But oh,
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, that's a bad look. That's a bad look. I'm gonna send it to you, bro. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. I don't know how to do. I don't know how to send it. Oh, okay. No, no, no. I'm gonna send it to your. I'm gonna send it to
my
your
phone.
phone right now, bro. Yeah, bro.
I'll give it a gander.
Yeah, it's not. It's not a good look, bro. I mean, it's not. It's definitely not a good look. I'm gonna have to have a conversation. So it looks. I appreciate it. No, there's my dog. Lily, stop.
Okay, okay. I just saw I just saw the tweet and I don't know why, but like your tone of voice when you sent that message, it almost made me feel like that I was in trouble, like someone like you almost caught me doing something, and you're like, yeah, it's a bad look or
No, but
something.
did you hear it though?
Hold on, I'm watching it right now. Oh no, it's actually one of our crew members in the chat. what's the thing that Cash Nasty does? He does like yeah, whenever things get awkward, that's what I have to say.
Bro, Lux is right. It's not a good look. I mean, now, okay, and I'm not trying to stick up for him right now, but like, I'm loyal. That's how I am. I wonder what the guy did first. You know, like when people video record somebody,
Yeah, yeah.
but they're already in meltdown mode. What happened right before?
That's what I want to know.
You know what I mean? Like what happened right before?
I mean, to be fair, he kind of always kind of sounded like a hothead. I mean, he sounded pretty comfortable doing it. Like, I mean, you can just, I don't like just by the way he's saying, like, it doesn't really sound like that's something that he hasn't done before. You know what I mean? I don't
Bro, I mean, yeah, I do agree. Like, sometimes, yeah, like, sometimes it happens, man. Sometimes people get under your skin.
at least he didn't pull.
It definitely, it definitely doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Like by trying to build, build the brand and all that.
Yeah, we're trying to be about positive play is what we're trying to.
Like there's been bro, like, hey Lux, and I'm gonna be honest to you too. There's been a few times where I've gotten on the mic and I wanted to be like, what? Say what? Beep beep beep. But now I know, like, I'm trying to get our crew and myself to a way that we can do it on a business level. I just don't want to have these kind of issues pop up like a Voltrax issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't want that to happen, because if we're building a website and we're building coaching and we're building a brand, and then like they're like, yo, you had a you had a player back, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. I mean, I don't know, man.
I'ma kill you. You don't want to mess with me. I'ma kill you. You don't want to mess with me. Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, it was pretty. I mean, it was pretty funny though. I mean, the fact that you could tell that he was like legitimately like pissed off, like he wasn't trying to be funny, but that's what made it funny, which is pretty ironic. So.
Okay, so his
Because there's no way like there's no way that like if that happened to you, like if you had no idea who that guy was and he got on the mic and started saying that, like you're not gonna take that seriously. You're gonna start laughing about it. So
all right, man. So I just wrote him and I'm like, yo, it's not a good look, and he replied with like, I give a F about that.
oh shit.
Bro, like, no. All right, man. Let's cut this stream because I'm gonna have to handle business right now. So, I appreciate everybody being here in the Halloween podcast. We will be back hopefully in 2 weeks. Trey, do you have anything else to say?
No, I mean I kind of wanted to talk about the NFL for a
Oh,
while.
okay. No, go ahead and do that then. I'm gonna handle something while you're talking about it.
Okay. Well, I can pretty much summarize the Seahawks. They pretty much have no defense. I mean, they're linebacker. They have like one good linebacker on defense, and that's pretty much it. And they have like no defensive linemen. I mean, it's kind of sad situation that you guys have going on there.
But yeah, I mean the Seahawks are trash.
Yeah, I understand it. I'm a Patriots fan, and I've been getting into a lot of Twitter disagreements recently, and I'm sure Shane has heard me talk about this, but I just don't understand how people can sit in their recliners and drink Mountain Dew, and at the same time think that they can do a better job of coaching than the people that actually get paid millions of dollars to coach. But I
I
guess we
mean,
live in a world. But I guess we live in a world where people can type on Twitter. And
social media has given people a voice, and most people are wrong.
yeah. Okay, and one other thing that I wanted to bring up. Um, so in the Buccaneers game, we sent out the kicker to kick a 52-yard field goal when it was 4th and 2, and it was raining outside. And I was thinking about this recently. I don't know why I just think of stuff like this, but whenever I think of the problems with kicking a field goal when it's pouring rain outside, is if they didn't get the snap down. Like when the ball is actually kicked in the air, does like the rain that falls down, does that affect the ball's trajectory when it's going into the field post? I don't know, but I don't think it does. But that's something that I've kind of thought about.
I would assume so, especially if especially like how heavy the rain is, probably the wind too, trajectory. Oh man, I'm struggling right now, Trey, right now, and you know why? But I'm trying to I'm trying to calm down here, bro. I'm trying to calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for me, that's pretty much all I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna go to bed here in a little bit because I've been up since like 7 p.m. last night.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. You're gonna sleep till like midnight.
Yeah, and then I have to go back to work at 8 o'clock in the morning. So
That's so. How long are they gonna make you do that, man? My boy right here is on a grind, bro.
I'm supposed to go back to 8-hour shifts soon. So hopefully that happens sooner than later. But anyways, with all that being said, I appreciate you guys for checking out the podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber already. Be on the lookout for more content. I'm sure Shane's going to be doing some more streams here in a little bit, whether that be week in week or whatever. But he's not a fan of the 7-foot and 2-foot guys.
No, man. I'm anal. I'm anal.
So he decided against it. But Shane always has something in the works. He's a hardworking guy. So be on the lookout for stuff like that. And with all that being said, I'm gonna toss it over to Shane to close this out.
All I'm gonna say is have a good Halloween and be safe, and we will talk soon, you guys. This Shane Got You 11 and Trey on the West Coast podcast. We'll talk to you guys later.